I receive many questions about posing people. No matter the type of shoot, I can always give you the basic advice to plan out a few poses beforehand that you can reference during a shoot. Today we're going to talk about taking headshots. Let's start with what a headshot is though. Traditionally, it is a portrait that is used for casting. But in the 21st century, it has come to be for any sort of branding, or an about page for a website, or for things like your Facebook or LinkedIn profile. Ordinarily, it is a head and shoulders shot, but that doesn't mean that you can't go closer or wider. There are some distinguishing characteristics that set a headshot apart from a more standard portrait. Size is one of them. If you are shooting a headshot for an actor, traditionally you want an 8x10. A model, 9x12 for his or her portfolio, and 5.5x8 for a comp card. What else makes a headshot different from another portrait is the idea is that you show what the person really looks like, not some super smooth edited version of themselves. So the client knows who is actually going to show up to the job. Plus, the photo should show the subject's signature look or their personality. Now, talking about headshots for other purposes, like for a website's about page or a social media profile picture. Anything where the person is selling their image in some way. The same rules apply, but you have more latitude with it. You want to say something about the person, but cropping, editing, and the overall look of the photo is up to you and to the client. Okay, so now that we know what a headshot is, let's talk about poses. I did a photo shoot with yours truly to give you some basic ideas. Keep the poses simple. This is not the time to have a model get too creative or do contortions. When in doubt, have the model sit or stand up nice and tall and move around them while they follow you with their face or just with their eyes. Definitely steer clear of cheesy stuff though, the hand on face or chin resting on fist or guy with watch sticking out. So now for facial expression. Smiling is great, but you do want to fit the personality and signature look of the subject. Experiment with having your subject dial back a big smile or not even smile at all. If that ends up looking bland, direct your subject to squint just the tiniest bit to give some intensity in the eyes. Speaking of eyes, they should be the center of attention. Eyes can say a lot about a person, so make sure you capture them in sharp focus so that they really stand out. I've talked about keeping things simple, but there are situations where you would want to get a little bit creative. For example, you can include props if you feel the need, depending upon the purpose of the photo. But this would almost never work for models and actors. Or you might want to add a little wind to show off a model's hair, or do some shots in the same style as the client's headshot, but of them doing different things or looking different ways or maybe cropped more closely or showing more of their body. This type of thing could be helpful, especially if you're building up a model's comp card. Now, I did these photos here in my studio, but allow yourself to use a more natural setting if you'd like, outdoors or elsewhere just outside of the studio. This is a great item to discuss with the subject before the shoot. So that's the idea. When you are going to do a headshot shoot, have some basic poses that you can use as a reference, like the ones that I showed you today. You can go over those looks with your client beforehand or even during the shoot. You may have noticed that as a model, I was wearing a pretty plain shirt, my hair's natural, and I didn't wear a lot of makeup. As a photographer, I didn't really do anything really dramatic with the lighting and the overall look of the photo. They were simply well lit, and I did minimal editing. I did do a few of these in monochrome, though color is definitely more common. These photos did fit my personality and my mission. The style of these may not fit your subject. Like, for example, maybe a cat sweater is not appropriate for your subject. So talk to them. Talk to them about what the photos are for and about what is important to them. You can adapt appropriately to get a great headshot for your client. Now, VIPs, I have shared a gallery of the images from this photo shoot with you and talked about the shoot and showed you a lot of behind the scenes footage from the shoot during this week's VIP show. You can find a link to it in the description of this video.